got something that might interest you.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Gamertag VR. Today we are reviewing one of the most well-known games in the survival horror genre. Not only because it's Resident Evil, and not only because it was a major turning point in the series, but because the game back in its day was actually brilliant. In fact, it was so brilliant that after it launched on the Nintendo GameCube, it's been ported to PlayStation 2, Windows, Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and probably some others. And now, finally, it's come to virtual reality. And with this port comes possibly the biggest changes to the game of any previous port thus far. And in this video, I will attempt to tell you everything you need to know about Resident Evil 4 VR, give you my thoughts on the game, all the while trying to keep spoilers to a minimum. If you find yourself enjoying the video, please support the channel with likes, comments, and subscribe for more virtual reality gaming content. Now with that out of the way, let's dive in to
Resident Evil 4.
In Resident Evil 4, you take control of government agent Leon S. Kennedy, and your mission is to rescue Ashley Graham, who is the US President's daughter.
You okay?
Leon, what's gonna happen to us?
Don't worry. We got into this mess, we can get out of it.
She's been abducted by a mysterious cult, and you must travel to Spain to try and rescue her. So what does using virtuality bring to a game like Resident Evil 4? There are some negatives, but I will get to them later on.
No.
Graphically, it looks the same as the original, but also feels very new. At worst, some textures look slightly low res with no bump mapping, but you're also greeted with a very clean, sharp looking game with a sense of scale, depth and immersion this game has never had before. The immersion adds a sense of urgency to situations, to combat, and encourages more exploration. Personally, seeing it faithfully ported this way to virtuality makes me so happy. The sounds in this game are also excellent due to spatial audio. It really does add an extra layer of depth to the game. But what about the controls? Bringing a game like Resident Evil 4 that was never meant to be played in virtuality needs to be accessible to new players and veterans alike. This is no small task. From mapping controls to reloading mechanics, it could have easily gone wrong. I'm really pleased to report the immersive controls and options are excellent. All levels of VR users are catered for in this game. Also, I just want to drop that I came across no bugs or glitches throughout the whole time I played this game, which is so rare these days and makes me feel this game has been finished for quite some time. What about the people who can't stand up and play VR, or who just want to simply sit down in the evening and play a game on the sofa? I'm really pleased to report that this game caters for that as well. The reason this doesn't work normally is because I think developers forget to consider gun placement, varying body sizes, and forget that most chairs have arms. And any one of those can make seated play pretty much impossible. So it was great to see in this game the way the weapon placement is and the ammo, that you can play this comfortably seated, and I found myself quite often in the evenings sitting on the sofa playing the game. Your in-game health, ammo, real-time and date, along with your playtime, is displayed on Leon's watch on your left wrist. If you choose immersive mode, your handguns and ammo are made available mid-air with two small icons. This works well most of the time, but can lead to frustration when you're trying to grab items in battle. All too often you'll accidentally grab your gun or grab some ammo, but if this all gets too much for you, you can choose the quick select menu. What this means is you'll have to hold the left trigger to bring up a weapon wheel. Now this is the fastest and most simplest way of swapping weapons in the game, but it's nowhere near as fun. And speaking of fun, if you have played this game before and you are experienced in VR, I would definitely recommend playing this game with all the comfort options off and immersive mode on. This game is truly full of lots of items and hidden secrets as you play, so make sure you keep an eye out for any sparkles and shoot as many crows as possible.
Ashley, upstairs!
The menu system and inventory is fantastically thought out. Combining items is done by placing them on top of one another, and the need to flip an item to fit into a slot is done by a flick of the wrist. I love rearranging items to make everything fit, or simply keeping it all tidy. If you haven't played the game before, inventory management can be as fun as it is frustrating. Now onto the biggest worry I had reviewing this game, and that is the third person events. Since this game is now an FPS, these moments have been clearly introduced to help new VR players enjoy the game. These mostly happen jumping out of windows, running from boulders, or watching cutscenes. And I expected it to ruin the experience, but somehow it simply doesn't. Watching this on a video does make me think it looks bad, but when you're in the headset, it kind of makes sense. It reminds me of playing Shenmue, and it feels pretty arcadey. These transitions are also fast and fluid and don't cause as much immersion break as you would expect. So when you come across a weapon in this game, it will show you how to store the weapon and how to reload the weapon in like a slow-mo section of gameplay. It's actually really, really cool. I want to quickly touch on the weapons in the game. The ones I've used so far feel absolutely great. The rifle was one of the things I was looking forward to the most playing in VR, because that was the one thing that drew me in back in the day on the GameCube. I'm really pleased to say that the bolt action rifle is very simple to use. When you pull the bolt back, it automatically flips forward back into the slot. You haven't got to fumble around. So people like fans of Pavlov, where you just like pull back and hope for the best when you put the bolt down, this doesn't happen here. It's a nice easy transition and just enough to give you that satisfaction of reloading a weapon. Another thing I absolutely love about this game is the gun range. Each gun will have a specific challenge or a score that you need to beat. It's absolutely superb. I find it really addictive and it gives you a real feel for the guns in the game. So on to the negatives. The first one is VR has made the game a lot easier to play. And please remember, this review is based on the normal settings. In the original, you were fixed at one point when you aimed, and you kind of pivoted, which can also be enabled inside the options in this game. But now you have full control, and dealing with hordes is simply a combination of leg shot, stabbing, or kicks and suplexes. If the enemies are funneled on some stairs or in a corridor, they are actually quite easy to deal with. There is of course times when I died, when I was simply just too outnumbered, but I remember Resident Evil 4 being pretty tough back in the day. The next negative is Ashley. She's simply a bit thick at times and gets grabbed or crushed or run over because she simply just can't keep up, or she'll shrink into a ball right in the way of danger. Also, she constantly wants to just jump out of windows. She could easily use the stairs, she just shouts for help all the time until you actually catch her. Overall, when I'm in the headset and I'm in Resident Evil 4, it honestly feels amazing to me. And I really believe this is the best version of the game to date. And not only that, it's one of the best games in VR and definitely one of the best games on the Quest. So the mixture of immersion and quick time events for me is pretty well balanced. It means new people will play the game and have a fantastic experience and get them hooked on virtuality. While people like me who've been using VR for the last 5 years, we have more of an arcade-like experience. Sure, I would like to climb ladders, and sure, I would like to do a forward flip just like in Sorrento, but that simply isn't going to happen in this game.
Welcome.
Armature should be commended and recognised for achieving something in my mind that is truly astonishing. Not only have they brought a worldwide known franchise like Resident Evil to VR again, they have made it accessible to all levels of VR players, but they've also kept what made Resident Evil 4 so special in the first place. I absolutely love this game and I highly recommend you pick it up. Thank you ever so much for watching this review. If you do enjoy it, remember to hit the like button, drop some comments below. Also, you can keep the conversation going by joining our Virtual Reality Community Discord. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below this video. Take care. Bye-bye.